Okay, you were live.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, let's call the Port Wardens meeting to order. The meeting of the Board of Port Wardens on Tuesday, February 28th, 2023 will be called at 7:04. Let's go ahead and do a roll call. We've got Mr. Harold Siegel and Mr. Scott Anderson. So thank you very much. We have a quorum of 3. So thank you. Approval of the agenda. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. At this time, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Scott, you got seconded by
Second,
Scott. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, all those in favor state who says aye. All right, great. Thank you very much. The motion passes. Thank you, Carrie. I assume I don't have to ask for no's if everyone already says aye, correct?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, if you have an affirmative from both and it's not necessarily a controversial matter, you don't have to say anyone opposed. But if it's unclear to you and or Kimberly, you may just want to make it clear.
Thanks. I'm still getting my arms around Robert's Rules of Order. All right, administrative. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the prior meeting date. At this time, I would entertain, the prior meeting date was last month on, I don't have that in front of me.
That was January 24th.
Thank you very much. January 24th. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Or yes.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. The next item on the agenda are the findings and fact from the prior meeting. We're going to go one by one. So the first was Port 22-026, and it's John and Amanda Larkin, 5 Tyler Place. I'd like to open it up for any discussion. I assume they're hearing none. I assume we move. Is there a motion to approve the written findings of fact?
I'll make a motion to approve the written findings of fact, please.
Okay.
I'll second that. Second that
Thank you
motion.
very much. All right, all in favor, please say aye or.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so all approved. Thanks. The motion passes. The second finding of fact is Port 022-027, and it's Barbara Stewart at 223 Wardour Drive. Any discussion?
Robert, just to clarify, it's 225 Wardour.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had 223. Okay, 225 Wardour. Thank you very much. So let me correct it in my notes. All right. So so no discussion. Is there a motion to approve the written findings of fact?
Approve. Motion to approve the findings of fact.
All right.
I'll second that motion.
All right. Thank you very much. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much. The motion passes. There is no old business. So we have new business. I feel like, oh, it's after the next one. So I'm going to wait for Madeline to bring in the representatives. The new business, we have one case, the port port number, bear with me. It's port I apologize. It's port number 2023-00001, 4 zeros. And it's Mr. Kevin McNeil of 14 North Acton Place. I'd like to have, if you could bring anyone in. I see Dan, if we can see you.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right. Dan, can you share your screen, Mr. Larian?
Sure, why it's not coming up?
Kimberly, is there a scenario for swearing in with a non-working camera? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Larian, can we, okay, anyone planning to testify, please raise your right hand. Thank you. You do solemnly swear to affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you are about to give to the Port Wardens is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. As a preliminary matter, the board will accept the record of the application, staff report, planning, zoning, any public. And now I want to confirm with Kevin if there's any comments and or public comments or any elements from the city that he wants to discuss.
There's no public comments and no one signed up to testify. And you should have my staff report with the
Yes.
recommendation.
All right, thank you very much. So I guess applicants, the consultant, I guess, Mr. Larian, if you could tell us what Mr. McNeil's wants to do.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I'm Dan Larian, representing Kevin McNeil at 14 Acton Place. We posted the signs and sent the mail out on February 16th. I don't know why is it echoing on your end?
A little bit, but it's doable.
Okay. So what we're planning on doing is remove the 3 mooring piles. And then we're going to install 4 piles along the pier in place and raise them up to 5 feet so that he can tie his boat alongside the pier up tight to the pier. So what we have there, we have about 18 feet 4 inches between the piles now. The boat is 17 feet 2 inches and the piles are anywhere from 12 to 14 inches. So once we take that out, on the sea side of the boat, which is out, 60 feet or so, we've got about 20 feet to the lateral line. And on the shore side, we've got about 21 feet. So the boat is 17 feet 2 inches. Once we take the piles out, we'll lay up against the pier and we will not cross the property line. We'll have room, but as it stands right now, we only have about a foot of clearance. It's just too tight to navigate and the piles are too low. They would get up under the gunnel and do damage. So that's the reasoning behind it. It's a 55-foot Palm Beach is the boat that will be there.
Okay. All right. I looked at this earlier. It looks like, it's obviously increasing by 1 piling, but it's effectively, sort of a rip and replace. I do not, there's no elements with rendering navigation too close. I think it's perfectly outside of the harbor line or inside of, his riparian rights of the harbor line. The placement and erection looks sort of stock. So, to me, it looks sufficient. Any other harbor masters have any questions or comments?
I'm just looking at the proposed versus the existing. I'm trying to figure out what the changes are on where actually the changes are. Okay, I see. I got you.
So we're deleting the mooring piles, the 3 mooring piles that are about 18 feet away from the current pier piles. And we've got about 21 feet to the lateral line. And the boat is 17 feet 2. And so we're going to pull a pile out of the pier and insert a new pile in the pier. So there's no further encroachment into the slip. The pile will then be up 5 feet above the deck, if that makes sense.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
So we'll lay over there and tie tight, put bumpers and tie tight up against the pier. So we're not, flying around. Like, it would damage the boat. We don't want to be across the property line, lateral line.
Gotcha. Okay. Scott, anything more? Harold, anything more? Okay. We've been through our Port Wardens question. Any more questions? Go ahead, Scott.
Can we, if we do make a motion to approve it, can we put the wording in as long as the boat doesn't go over the appropriate lines? Our lines?
Yeah, I assume so. You know how it is. It's not intended to be, but we can add that. I guess the other thing to let you know, we do have state MDE approval because replacement in kind does not require a permit. So I sent them a drawing and they followed up with a letter, which I forwarded to Kevin.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I have that.
Okay. If Carrie, when something gets added, like a limitation of not to exceed a certain length or whatever, do we build that in, or does Mr. Larian build that in for the port case?
So you could just make it part of the motion and then have it reflected in the written findings that end up getting adopted. So when you move to approve with, the condition of such and such, and then that'll make its way into the written findings. And then once you guys approve the written findings, it'll be the condition that's necessary.
Okay, that being said, Scott, I can't make a motion as chair. So if you do it, or Harold, please make sure you add the language, okay? Is there any more discussion?
I don't know. We had this talk before. I don't know if we really need to make that motion. It's understood by statute or that you can't go past the lateral line. If it does go, then that's a violation. That's something that the harbor master would deal with. It isn't something that has to be in what we designate. It's given. It's a given that you can't go past the lateral line. Is that not true? Or
You certainly have a good point. I just know in the past, when those things have come up, they've been cited in the findings.
Right, and the vessel is 55 and he's got 54 feet to work with. So if he protrudes his own dock even by 1 foot, he still will have plenty of distance till the harbor line. So, I mean, plenty of space. That is, of course, if you count 55. I would. All right, is there any more questions, any more discussion amongst the port wardens? Okay, now that all questions are asked, I declare the public hearing for port. Am I missing something, Kevin? I guess not. I declare the hearing for port 2023-0001 closed. As discussed, all the criteria, well, the majority of the criteria that relates to the private property is all perfectly within Title 15. It's not too close to navigation. Its placement and erection construction is, approved by the city and undertaken in a manner with materials that substantially are lasting. So, I mean, we're well within Title 15, which is fantastic. I need, someone please make a motion? I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second
Okay.
that.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Let me actually say the exact sentence that I think the city wants. All in favor of the motion to approve the application port 2023-0001 at 14 North Acton Place. And then Scott, if you can please do the motion again. I'm sorry, I was supposed to do
I'll
that.
make a motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second
fantastic.
that motion.
All right, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
All right. All right, all aye, the motion passes. Thank you.
Got one question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Recently, they changed, I'm gonna say 3 weeks ago, they changed to paperless to file port wardens and building permits. And I tried on this one, I couldn't get it to upload. It got to the point of step 5 and it asked for MDE and federal approval, and it asked for a letter of permission. And I tried to upload my application and my drawings, and it just would not let me go any further. So I took a hard copy into the city. That's what Lakita told me to do. And then Kevin was nice enough to figure out how to upload it. But I've got the same circumstance today on 7 Loudon Lane. We're going to remove and replace a boathouse, a 12-foot by 35-foot pier and 67 feet of bulkhead. I've got to step 5 and can't go any further. I'm just wondering, we got some kind of problem there. Has anybody tried to go through the whole process yet to see if it works?
Dan,
I,
Dan, that's
obviously
not
have
gonna be
not, I
something.
put Kevin, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Dan, that's not gonna be something the port wardens are gonna, these are more technical issues that we're working out, you
Okay,
know, as at the department level. So,
all right.
we'll
wait
deal
to
with
hear.
you on that.
Yeah, I'll wait.
And
to
I'm
hear.
sure the city will be, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I assume they're going to be accommodating until they work out all of their technical challenges. But that's
Yeah.
Kevin.
It's
think
not just
Kevin
port
will be
wardens
your-
applications, it's permits and projects across the board that we've got a lot of tweaking to do.
So,
Okay.
so if you want me to bring a hard copy in later for the upcoming job, so I mean, you know, because we got a deadline to be able to make next month.
Yeah, but that's my deadline. So I'll deal with you, Dan.
All right.
I'll talk to you offline.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate your help.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. All right. Now let's move to Ms. Laney. Is there anything else for the good of the order? All right. All right. There being no other items on the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
I'll
thank
say-
you. There we got a second. All right, thank you very much. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.